Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. In 2 days, in exactly 48 hours, to be honest, to be exact, Arsenal are facing Aston Villa in the last game of the year. Arsenal so far are undefeated at home. And obviously, Aston Villa, they are, well, 12 game, 11 game unbeaten winning streak or something like that. There's going on for them. Basically, it's gonna be, to some degree, a streak versus a streak on the line. And it's gonna be very interesting who comes out on top because overall, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be an interesting one. It's gonna be a tough one. And to make matters worse for Arsenal, the injuries, yes, the injuries, the same ones, the infamous injuries are piling up once again. Simba didn't play. Whether that was due to load management, whether it was actually a proper injury, we're going to see very, very soon. Calafiori, he felt something. He got injured even more in the warm-up, and he is, I would expect, not available, at least for now, in the game against Aston Villa. And it's not looking great because starting with Aston Villa, Arsenal have a very tough schedule coming up once again. Because after Aston Villa, going into the January, we have away games against all the teams that are Arsenal bogey teams. And we have home games, yes, home games, against Man United and against Liverpool. Both teams are actually somewhat decent at the moment, especially Liverpool. So overall, there are definitely worrying signs already looming, especially with the injury situation. Gabriel is back, whether he's been rushed back, whether he's actually fully back, that determines to be seen, but he played a substantial amount against Brighton, of course. So we'll see how that's going to go against Aston Villa, whether he's going to start or not, because if he starts, obviously we're going to look more solid defensively, but overall, still, despite all that, it's not a great sign. Definitely it's not a great sign. I'm worried about Declan Rice. I'm worried about even Zubimendi. I'm worried about quite a few players, and at the moment, Arsenal don't have much wiggle room. Even though we can rotate certain players, we still have pretty much no wiggle room for error, so to speak, just given due to the sheer-based fact that Man City, 2 points behind us, Aston Villa, 3 points behind us. And if Aston Villa beats us, we are on the same points. Arsenal will be only ahead due to goal difference, by the way. And the worst part in all of this is Man City's game, the next game, is on January 1st, on New Year's. They play as Sunderland away. Obviously, everyone's expecting a tough game, but if Man City win, Arsenal will be second. Arsenal actually might be second in the league instantly on the New Year's. So there's lots and lots of riding on this game. For me, per se, it's not a title-deciding game, as many people want to say. But for one thing is for sure, this game definitely will give us some sort of a blueprint, inkling, indication how Arsenal's second part of the season might go. Because the toughest time for Arsenal, no matter how you look at it, no matter what Arsenal have been over the years, no matter how long you've been an Arsenal fan, especially, let's just say since we moved to Emirates, let's just put it that way, the fall-down period has been January or sometime February, March. It's always the same time frame. And again, Arsenal are in that instance. Arsenal are again in the same window. And again, Arsenal are in deep, deep trouble. Obviously, transfer window could change a lot. The thing is, do I trust this manager with the transfers? No, I don't. Because the history has taught us that they usually don't work. In January, we don't tend to do big business, which obviously could kind of coincide with the fact why we haven't won anything, because if in January we actually signed that type of a blockbuster type of a player, maybe then we actually could have won something. But there are lots of answers, lots of questions, and as always with Mikel Arteta, as always with Arsenal, and as always as we are looking at this, there are more questions than answers. And the more answers you get, the more questions get raised, unfortunately, for this. So yeah, people, like the stream, subscribe if you're new, and leave your thoughts down in the live chat, and we gonna go from there. Big up Kwaja, big up, big up, big up, big up. Hope you're doing well today. Big up Mubarak. Utilize set piece effectively this season. Arsenal is strength. Yeah, but without Gabriel, we have been quite useless in them actually. So it's actually kind of interesting that Gabriel comes back. With Gabriel back, will the set pieces be back? That is the next question. We have to wait and see. Trossard and Saka can be instrumental. They should be, but we obviously, on the right side, we have Declan Rice. On the other side, obviously, we have Bukayo Saka. We need the in-swinging corners and in-swinging set pieces. So we'll have to wait and see how that's going to go, especially given the last few games, last 4 games, where Arsenal have struggled to score goals. Defensively, feels like we have learned nothing. We tend to score a goal, sit back and bite the pressure, and basically have a cat and mouse type of a game, a coin toss, in terms of whether we're going to concede or we gonna not. Because we had the same against Sunderland, we had the same against Wolves, we had the same against Crystal Palace in Carabao Cup, and we had the same thing again against Brighton just yesterday. So definitely there are issues. There are lots of issues. And whether those going to be resolved, whether there will be a quick solution, or will there be actually any solution, unfortunately, time only will tell, of course. Big up Gooner SC. Big up, big up, big up, big up. It's only a 2-horse race between City and Villa. And the nuts part is, even though Villa are riding high, I still believe that Villa don't have enough juice to carry it out till the end of the season. In my opinion, that's just my opinion currently. But the biggest thing is, Aston Villa have no pressure on them in terms of winning the league. But if they do, what does that say about Mikel Arteta? What does that say about the money spent? And what does that say about the process? If Aston Villa, for example, wins the league, will it finally be a sign for Kroenkes, for Berta to take that final massive step to put the final nail in Arteta's coffin as the manager of Arsenal and get rid of him? Obviously, as I said before, time only will tell. Yeah, Ivory Coast versus Cameroon at the moment has kicked off. Few minutes in, 0-0. That going strong. Big up Terry Tibbs. Big up, big up, big up, big up. I don't think we'll beat Villa. Draw at best. Our attack looks absolute trash. And that is the biggest worry. That is the biggest worry. We struggle to score goals. We struggle to... Maybe we don't struggle to create even as much, but we definitely struggle to put the ball in the back of the net. And if you look at that, even at Arsenal's last 6 goals, four of the last 6 goals are own goals. One is a Gyökeres penalty, and one is a Odegaard's long shot. That's it. So 67% of the goals Arsenal have scored from the last 4 games actually are own goals. Can we rely on Villa to score own goals for us? I don't think so. Obviously, football is an unpredictable sport. The balls can bounce any way they can. Pause. But we'll never know. We'll never know. Arsenal have only won one of the last 5 Premier League games against Aston Villa. Aston Villa is not a bogey team, yeah. And let's be real, 2 years ago, remember the infamous game 2 years ago when we went starting since January, since that Dubai trip, about 16 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss? That only loss was against Villa. It was again at home. We lost 2-0 when Arteta decided to put Havertz in the midfield, despite the fact that Havertz was actually on a bit of a purple patch playing at striker. And that, many people say, contributed quite heavily for Arsenal not winning the league, because that was, technically speaking, the difference from Man City, because we lost the league by 2 points that season. But obviously, it was going 1-7 in December, drawing against 10-man Fulham, Everton's, and all this stuff before. But let's not forget, it feels like its history repeats itself. We have a chance to rewrite the history, as people will say. So definitely there are lots of question marks, and there's lots of things on the line currently. Still, they haven't even got the Ballon d'Or back yet. Yeah, they haven't got him back. And if they sign Semenyo, lights out for everyone. There is that big issue with that, definitely. City, that's the biggest thing. With City, I actually trust City in this January window to see issues, to sign the necessary 1 or 2 players, and to try and fix them. With Arsenal, on the other hand, unfortunately, I don't see that. Arsenal 2-1 Brighton, much needed win, but a lot of improvements, to say the least, more than just a few improvements. If Rice plays right back again against Villa, Villa will run through our midfield. They have probably the best midfield in the Premier League. To some degree, yes. And if we don't have Timber back, if Arteta again doesn't play him injured or something like that, Declan Rice, bigger chances than not, is gonna play right back. It's gonna be Rice versus what's his face, Morgan Rogers. It's gonna be interesting to see how that develops. But that again, that means that our midfield of Merino, Zubimendi, and Odegaard is gonna be against the midfield of Tielemans, McGinn, Kamara. No matter how you look at it, that midfield is gonna be tough to handle. And based on previous experiences, when even we have had the Rice in the midfield, our midfield on many occasions has been heavily overrun. And looking at that, we have at the moment a makeshift type of defense, not even with our best players. Definitely, it raises big concerns for the game. Obviously, our attack is struggling as well. The only thing, to some degree, that I'm holding on to, like basically, I'm holding on to a cheese string in a tornado storm. Basically, that's what I'm doing, is the fact that Arsenal still are unbeaten this season at the Emirates. That is the only thing. Hence why it's gonna be streak versus streak to some degree. Aston Villa are on 11-game winning streak, best in their history. Arsenal still unbeaten at Emirates this season. It's gonna be streak versus streak, and bigger chances than not, one of them is gonna come to an end. The question is, which one? Unfortunately, big up Marlon, Arteta out. I don't think we're gonna do 7, but it could get ugly. Watkins has scored quite a bit. Calvert-Lewin has 7 goals in 6 games. That is true. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has 7 goals in 6 games. Gyökeres has 5 goals in 17 games, something like that. It's actually insane. We'll have proven they can vote from behind and win like they did. But yeah, they have proven. They were 1-0 down at halftime at Stamford Bridge, and they won the game 2-1. Villa have proven that they can do the tough games. They have proven that they can win from tough positions. And Emery knows how to do it. He knows how to make the attack click. And let's be real, Villa is also a type of a bogey team for Arsenal. So definitely it's going to be a very, very, very rough one, to say the least. Then Spurs basically defeated themselves against City on purpose, the only to win the Europa at our expense. I think Timber might play. I think so too. I would not be surprised if Jurriën Timber plays against Villa. I will not be surprised. Now, obviously, before the game, before the Brighton game, there were talks on social media that Timber was not playing due to the sheer reason that it was a precaution and load management. The fact that it said precaution on its own is a worry sign for me. Definitely, it is a worrying sign, and not too great. Let's just put it that way. Definitely, it's not a great sign, to say the least. But I will not be surprised if Timber plays. But if Timber cannot play, it will be Rice. So our midfield is going to get even worse. I just can't get excited about this team. The way Eze Madueke get dropped for no reason is baffling. Yeah, Madueke, 2 goals against, well, yes, it's Belgian chocolate makers. I get it's Club Brugge. But a worldie of a goal, doesn't see the pitch after that, pretty much at all. Same goes for Eze. He plays in Carabao Cup, doesn't play pretty much at all ever. In the Premier League, he holds bench. What was the point in spending, and I kid you not, 117 million on 2 of those players if they don't play when the team is struggling in the attack, when the team is struggling with rotation, and the team is actually not performing? What is the point? Let's just put it that way. Spurs actually use their youngsters. Yeah, they do. They play Odegaard. They play lots of the Justin Bieber, the Bergwall, and everything. Try Norgard at right back. He might do a job. Locking up Rogers on the left wing. More. Dude, that's the thing. Sikwaje, you say try Norgard at right back, but that's the same as playing Thomas Partey there, right? And Norgard is not the same as Thomas Partey. He doesn't have the composure. And as much as Partey was not the fastest, Norgard is even slower than him. And if Morgan Rogers cooks him for pace once or twice and puts him on a yellow, well, it's done. Like, it's instantly gonna be done. Let's just put it that way. Like, personally, I don't want to see Norgard at right back. But it could come to that. It could come to Declan Rice. It could come to Norgard. Personally, for me, play Josh Nichols there. See what happens. Remember last year when we played against Villa away? Matty Cash got injured. He got subbed off. And they subbed on... Give me a second. I'm going to find this player. I'm quickly going to find this player because he still plays for Villa. He is a center back technically, but he is also a right back. He is, I don't know, Serbian, I think he was. Serbian. Let's just put it that way. It was on letter K, and I genuinely have forgotten his name. It's on letter N. This guy. I'm going to share with you. He was 18 years old. He was playing against Martinelli, and he locked down Martinelli as soon as Matty Cash came out. Kosta Nedeljkovic. He was 18 years old at the time when we played Aston Villa, after Matty Cash got injured. He played right back last year. And he absolutely annihilated and closed Martinelli down. See, Emery has no problem putting these youngsters into the team in these tough situations. Why cannot we put Josh Nichols at right back and see what happens? Why cannot we trust these youngsters? Every single manager in Premier League trusts these kids, except Mikel Arteta. He doesn't even trust the youngsters that are proven in this team already from last year, like Skelly, like Wanjeri. He didn't even trust Biereth, Balogun. Who else is there? Emil Smith-Rowe. He didn't trust them enough, even though they saved his career to some degree seasons before. So it's actually insane if you think about it. Yes, Nedeljkovic is on loan today, but last season when we played them at Villa Park, Cash got injured. He subbed him on. And he locked Martinelli down to the full maximum degree. And the way we rely on Saka, yeah, they're gonna clamp Saka up like no tomorrow. But we have bigger fish to fry. Which is the bigger fish to fry? This is Premier League. There is no bigger fish to fry. It's Premier League, Champions League. We have no bigger fish. We literally have no bigger fish unless we are going for the quadruple of finishing second 4 times in a row in Premier League. That is the only bigger fish we can fry. Funny how these top Gooners think Jesus and Havertz are the saviors when both have done squat in the last few seasons, neither are clinical in front of the goal. True. But you also cannot deny that with Jesus up top and Havertz up top, we look much more fluid in the attack than we do with Gyökeres. Obviously, it's down to the manager. It's also partially down to Gyökeres. But yes, with Havertz and Jesus up top, we look much, much more fluid in the attack. Let's just put it that way. Players, yeah, Calvert-Lewin, right? Injured. Nobody wanted to take him. Leeds took a punt on him. I know some Leeds fans. They were bitching, they were moaning, they were complaining about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And in the last 6 games, he has 7 goals. He has put him on a purple patch and to some degree gone them some massive points. They beat Crystal Palace 4-1. Crystal Palace are in a bit of a rut as well at the moment. I think they are like 7-8 games on winless now. And everything, it's actually kind of nuts. They took a punt, it worked. Remember when Arsenal were linked with Dominic Calvert-Lewin like 2 years ago? Remember that one? Jesus strengthens his link-up play, that's it, yeah. And it helps us, obviously. Big up, Manny. Bigger, brother. Thank you for your sub. Hope you're doing well today. Hope this Sunday is treating you, well, let's just put it, for lack of a better word, heavenly good. Let's just put it that way. Justice for Wanjeri, Salmon, and Nichols. Yeah, put Nichols there. Is the sweet prince out for Villa? I don't know. That's the nuts part. Arteta most likely is going to do a press conference tomorrow, so we're not going to know. And even though tomorrow we will not find out. But the sheer fact that Arteta said in a press conference that he felt something day before the game, and in the warm-up he felt worse, gives me worries that actually Calafiori might be out for the longer period of time. Let's just put it that way. And if I'll go on socials talking about Calafiori, haven't seen anything much about Calafiori. I've seen some vague rumors that Calafiori could be out for 2-3 weeks. He could be out for a few months. Go figure with that one, because with Arsenal, It is the one that you will never figure out until they tell them you themselves, and they then don't even do that to some degree. So time only will tell. But just remember, Mikel doesn't like kids. Yeah, that is also the case. Even though Mikel's 16-year-old played yesterday in under 17s or under 18s, when they drew 1-1 against Shrewsbury or whoever they drew basically against. But he played there as a right winger. He's the next Saka. We're going to have Arteta for the years. Costa is away from the club on loan now, yeah. He is away on the loan now, yeah. But last season, he clamped us up. Barely played before that in Premier League, and he absolutely shut us down on that left side. Arteta only plays kids when there's record break for his own ego, yeah. Or shit hits the fan and he has literally nobody to play. As long as he can change the jigsaw puzzle to fit his players in, he's not going to play the youth. Because there were all possibilities to play Nichols at right back, Salmon at center back, put Skelly in the midfield and all this stuff over the years. And last year even, put Vanyeרי in the 10. He doesn't do that. He much rather play Havertz there, Martinelli on the right, Havertz even on the right, Thomas Partey at right back. As long as he can fit his players in, he doesn't want to change the jigsaw. But as soon as shit hits the fan, and hits heavily, oh, youngsters, save my job, save my life, save my all-prized possessions, please, please, please. Like, make it make sense. Yeah, exactly. If you look at our academy, there are plenty of youngsters who can fill our players who are injured. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But Arteta just doesn't trust them. Let's be real. Enzo Fernandez, one of the most overrated midfielders in football. Could be the case. He's decent, but he's not great. Let's just put it that way. He's decent, but he is not great. Big up BBK Sports. Big up BBK. Hope you're doing well today, Taron. Hope the hotel settings are treating you fine. Welcome to the Hotel California. It's such a lovely place. Gabriel basically looks better at doing nothing. If he's not scoring, he's just a silkier version of a dead striker. Yeah. At the end of the day, yeah, but he at least creates something. He can create. That is the thing. Issue is we have nobody to finish that creation. Let's just put it that way. There's nobody who put the cherry on top of the cake, unfortunately. And the issue is, like, we play with the number 10, we play with a false 9. And in the game, the false 9 drops into 10. The number 10 drops into what it feels like a center back or number 6. And half the time, they basically stumble over each other. They trip each other up and they mess everything up. Let's just put it that way. It's actually worrying to some degree. Big up, Sheldon. Big up, Sheldon. Merry Christmas to you too. Merry, 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 Merry Christmas. I hope it's all... No. Definitely not that. But this game against Aston Villa definitely has big, big issues to look at. Very big issues. I don't even know how to talk about all of this stuff, to be honest. Because these injuries, whether you like it or not, is gonna cost us at some point. We are like a cat. A cat has 9 lives, obviously, as the saying goes. And the question is, if Arsenal are like a cat who has 9 lives, how many lives of those we have basically already used until, well, basically those 9 run out? Let's just put it that way. Because for me personally, Wolves was 1. Who else is there? Obviously, Brighton. Then there's Sunderland. There are quite a few of those games. If you start counting them up, basically, it almost adds up to all those 9 lives. So the cat is basically dried up, just like Arsenal's players. They are dried up. The chances are gone. Like, it's actually kind of insane. It's actually insane. It's very worrying. Let's just put it that way. It's very, very worrying. Our top striker will win us the league. It's gonna be, yeah, Gyökeres, 5 goals. Vamos a la playa, la 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 la, and all this stuff. You know how the things go, of course. But yeah, although to be honest, what's its face? No, Gyökeres has 6 goals, I think. If Own Goal scores another goal for Arsenal, he's our top goal scorer. Maybe we should give him 300 grand a week. Maybe he can do some job for Arsenal. Well, just food for thought. Let's just put it that way. Exactly. Meow. Meow. Yep. Cat. Personally, yeah, relax, Marlon. No. Owen Goal. Yeah. Owen Gola says that's our guy. Yeah. He is our guy. It is our guy. He has 4 goals right now. 4 goals in what, 3-4 games? He's scoring more rapidly than any of our attackers in the team. Let's just put it that way. He's almost on the same par as our top goal scorers. It's actually kind of insane to think about. We could do this. Yeah, definitely. Here we go. Wait. Let's do this. On goal is incoming with Aston Villa. Yeah, but the question is on which side? Owen goal is for Ballon d'Or. Yeah, might as well. There's no other way to put it, because we all know that Owen goal has 4 goals for Arsenal, right? Look at this. This is Arsenal's top goal scorers, top assisters right now. Top goal scorers, top assisters right now. Victor Gyökeres, 16 games, 5 goals. Bukayo Saka, 16 games, 4 goals. Trossard, 14 games, 4 goals. Eze, 15 games, 4 goals. That includes the hat-trick against Spuds, of course. These are our top goal scorers. We are halfway through the season, and no one is literally nowhere close in scoring 10 goals in Premier League currently. Nowhere close. Barely halfway through. At this pace, by the 38th game, we will have maybe 1-2 players who reach the 10-goal mark, if we keep this up. Last year was the first year in 105 years since no player for Arsenal had scored double-digit goals in Premier League. Last year was the first year in 105 years since no one had scored 10-plus goals, double-digit goals. We are on the same path to repeat it. We are going for the record, back-to-back. We are back-to-back. Big up DG2. Big up. Why not trying something different? Play 4-4-2 with Gyökeres and Martinelli? Yeah. Play 4-4-2, 3-5-2, 3-4-3, 5-2-3, 5-3-2. Something. Change it up. Mix it up. Throw a spanner in the works. Stop throwing spanner in the things. In the things that work to some degree. You know how the saying works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right? If it's not broken, you don't have to fix it. With Arteta, unfortunately, is if it works, break it. That's the nuts part. He does it backwards. Make that make sense. Mince has 4 goals in less matches. Exactly. We need Gyökeres to make those runs and be just as clinical as Owen Goal is. And 100%. Seth Peace and Owen Goles. Yeah, those 2 are carrying Arsenal so far. And by the way, did you notice? Gyökeres comes off, Jesus comes on. All of a sudden, we start to do low-driven crosses, far corner, mid penalty box, everywhere Gyökeres was. Or he steps back to open place for Saka to pass him ball to. Saka takes a shot himself. As soon as Gyökeres comes off, all of a sudden, all these passes start to come out of nowhere. It's like top Gooners come out of hiding, the same passes come out of hiding. As soon as Gyökeres is off the pitch. Only then these passes and crosses start to come out of nowhere. As long as Gyökeres is on the pitch, we see none of that almost. Almost none of that whatsoever. Yeah, to be honest, if we're lucky, exactly. I told you I'll break his bum. This guy's curveball. Yeah, but it's not on Gyökeres fully. I would give about 15% it's on Gyökeres, but the rest of it's on the manager 100%. Because there is no chance in hell that one player who can bag goals for fun goes to a bigger team with better players, all of a sudden doesn't know how to kick a ball. It doesn't happen like that. Unless he's been space jammed. Unless they're actually in some parallel universe is a real version of Space Jam happening right now. And somebody decided to Space Jam Gyökeres. Let's just put it that way. Of all the strikers in the history, like Van Basten, Pauleta, Eusebio, and all these men, somebody decided to Space Jam Gyökeres. Make that make sense. Let's just put it, if you're going from that point of view. Jesus and Havertz suits Arteta's false 9 system, exactly. But you can't always play the same system. Change it sometimes. 100% facts. In which universe does it make sense that Gyökeres plays like Jesus and Havertz? In which universe does that actually make some freaking goddamn sense, to say the least? Like, that's like, well, to be honest, it is what it is. Arteta putting Declan Rice at right back and expecting him to play like Timber. That's the same thing. The issue is Declan Rice actually can do somewhat job there, just like Gyökeres up top, to be honest. But hey, it goes without saying. Arteta, there is no rooms for adjustment, no improvements, no changes. It's Arteta's way, or, well, you do or die by the sword, right? You live or die by the sword, as they say. With Arteta, it's just you die by the sword at this pace. At the end of the day, it feels that way. Yeah. Seth Peace, another striker for Arsenal. The last time we tried different formation was Newcastle last year, yeah. It's also very ironic that we actually don't go back to a formation, the only formation, who has brought us success, ironically enough. It's 3 at the back, well, 5 at the back. Obviously, depends how you look at it. Because for Arsenal, if you look at this Arsenal's team, well, maybe not now with injuries, right? But even with injuries, to be honest, we have all the tools to play 3 at the back / 5 at the back. All the tools. We have all the tools for the defensive line, all the tools for the midfield, and all the tools for the attack. It would work if the manager would do it. It obviously, everything penny starts and drops with the manager at the end of the day, no matter how you look at it. And it's not like the counter-attacking park the bus football needs to be ugly. There are countless examples in history that park the bus football is actually fun. It's exciting. The counter-attacks are exciting. Everything is exciting, fantastic, and very eye-pleasing to watch. It's just that when you watch Mikel, it feels like you literally, well, are dying from boredom, for lack of a better word. Let's just put it that way. Saka needs to stop being greedy, 100%. So many times Gyökeres is free, all Saka does to square the ball, and it's a tap. And exactly. It has been the last 3-4 games, it's been like 6-7 times at least. Saka either takes a shot or loses the possession. Or he tries to cross it, well, and it goes into no man's land at the end of the day. And that is a big worry as well. Stop taking Bricker's side. They see him in training. They know what the guy... So you want to tell me Gyökeres is useless because Gyökeres is shit. That's what you're saying right now. Where does that make sense? So if he is a dud, how comes in Portuguese league he can score 97 goals in 102, 103 games? Oh, but Portuguese league is an easier league. Shove it up your ass at the end of the day. Sorry. He did this in Champions League. He did it in Coventry, for God's sakes, in the last year. He scored 20 plus goals. He can't do it only at Arsenal. And somehow nobody wants to look up the fact that no striker, actual striker, has worked under Mikel Arteta in any circumstances. Aubameyang found himself at left wing back, Lacazette at the number 6, and since then we haven't had an out-and-out number 9. Only ones we've had, Arteta has been Biereth and Balogun. One went to Sturm Graz, then to Monaco, Balogun to Monaco. Chidobe Martin saw this shit show and instantly pieced the scene to 17th place United at the time. To Man United. You know how bad the situation has to be to go from Arsenal, who are fighting for the title, to United, who are barely scrapping top 10. You know how shit the situation must be. Big up, Shane. Big up, Shane. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you are doing well today, brother. Hope everything's fine with you. Hope this Sunday has treated you fantastically well. And go subscribe to Shane as well, people. Here is his link if you haven't already, which I really doubt that. But if you haven't, go drop him a sub. A real one. A proper one. A top guy, top lad, gentleman, and a scholar. I can't. Oh. We need a better manager. Yes, that definitely goes. We actually won the 2020 FA Cup playing exactly. Only formation that has brought us any success at the end of the day. Only type of formation that has brought us success. And never come back. Let's just put it that way. Maybe if we do a Crystal Palace and use 3-4-2-1 formation, we could pack the midfield and stifle Villa. Maybe. 100% maybe. Same goes for that 3-4-2-1 as I played on the left side as a number 10. where he had a free roam type of a role where he could express himself. Unfortunately, for Mikel Arteta, he cannot do that because these 3-4-2-1 formation kind of demands players to be, well, free roam and be having the freedom to express themselves to a certain degree so they can attack and use the counters and use the open spaces. With Arteta, it will never work. Now, at least. It used to, but not now. Because, well, let's be real. He wants control, he wants possession, he wants obsession, and he wants to put everyone to sleep who even plays. Whether he's trying to put asleep the fans, the opposing fans, the other team, God knows, but someone at the end of the day. Let's just put it that way. We could get Glasner instead and let him play his foot. Would be interesting to see Glasner with this team, with the players he would have at this disposal, especially if who would get even 20% of the money backing or 30% of the money backing that Mikel Arteta has gotten over the years. Would be very interesting to see. I'm not gonna lie. You think Glasner is gonna go to Spurs? Oh, bloody hell. To be honest, Spurs are Spurs, but Glasner actually could do something with Spurs if he goes there. Let's just put it that way. If we're looking from that lens. Yeah, haters were saying don't get Gyökeres. I'm still standing by Gyökeres at the end of the day. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting hard to stand by him, but let's be real. The real loyalty is being tested when the storm is at its peak. Obviously, you could go also from the other side and say, with the top Gooners, the more people want him out, that is the storm, and the more you stay by Arteta, the sweeter will be the reward when Arteta wins something. Unfortunately, there are no signs of the storm ending and no signs of Arteta winning something, unfortunately. Big up, Cooper. Big up, Cooper. Appreciate that. Big up, bro. Big up. And as I never get sub, Eze, Madueke, Vangieri, what are they doing? Like, we have spent literally 117 million for bench warmers just to keep the seats at the Emirates warm. Let's just put it that way. Eze sits on the bench. Madueke sits on the bench. And Arteta obviously has this track record. As soon as player gets some sort of momentum, he rips him out of the team. Happened with Trossard when he just signed. He was on 2 player of the months. He won 1. The second one, he got yanked out. Emil Smith-Rowe got few man of the match performances just after he came back from injury and instantly got yanked out of the team. Happened to Skelly now, has happened to Vangieri, and it happens over and over and over again, unfortunately. And you cannot tell me that these players would not change and improve our attack based on the dross we are seeing right now. No chance whatsoever. I'm not even comforted by the being no cash or Kamara for Villa, because when they beat us 2 years ago, it was the same situation. They didn't have Douglas Luiz. I think Emery has it covered. Yeah, 100%. Emery has it covered 100%. Emery is that type of manager who will figure stuff out. Let's be real. Unai Emery beat Mikel Arteta with Villarreal while having like Coquelin playing left mid or right mid or something like that. Juan Foyth as a right back, the ex-Spurs reject. Like 90-year-old, what it felt like Raul Albiol at center back and everything. He has shit figured out. Unai Emery sees these things. He's an elite tactician at the end of the day. He knows how to get the job done. It's also not a surprise that even if Aston Villa are doing good in one half, in the first half, there's a big possibility that in the second half, they will even step it up even more. Because it's not, let's be real, Chelsea are a decent team, right? They're inconsistent, but they're a decent team. Yes, they have troubles defensively. At times, they have troubles in the midfield. Everywhere, everyone has these, right? But they were 1-0 down to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge at halftime. In the second half, they sub on Ollie Watkins, bang, 1 goal, bang, 2 goals. Aston Villa leaves Stamford Bridge with all the 3 points. Something Arsenal couldn't do. Arsenal could not win at the Stamford Bridge. Let's be real as well. Arteta's mentality is the main problem. He goes ahead and makes the team sit back when we need to kill the game. Exactly. It is a problem. Because this manager has the nerve after the game when he gets asked about this to say, well, I don't know what's going on. Obviously, I want the team to attack. I want us to go forward, push for more goals and everything. Okay, it's great that you said it, but I want proof. I want proof in the next game, the game after that, the game after that, so that I can see that the tide's changing. But again, we go one goal ahead, we drop back, again we invite the pressure, and it's the same shit, different toilet all over again. Let's be real, it's like Arteta doesn't learn from his mistakes. Same mistakes he made year one, he makes now. But he can preach as much as he wants in the press conferences that he wants this, he wants that, this has changed, this has that. But when it comes to game time, nothing has changed. It's the same stuff. A 2-2 draw is what I'm hopeful for, dude. The 2-2 draw, that is, I think, the best case scenario we can expect. I don't even know where we're going to score the 2 goals from at this stage to some degree, especially against Villa. But hey, if we can score 2 goals, it could be nice. 2-2 draw is likely, however, we can win unless this manager changes his style of play. Well, Emery has had his number, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. 1 year, we don't play 4-3-3, we play 4-2-3-1. Rice and Zubimendi drop deeper. Yeah, but Rice is playing right back right now, so that even makes it a bit worse, to just put it that way. I think half the team wants Arteta and the other half wants him. And yeah, it might be the case. Maybe there is something to it, definitely. Yeah, exactly. Emery knows. Emery stands by his decision. Yes, Emery might not get his decision right every time, like we saw in Baku, right? 4-1 against Chelsea when we lost in the final, right? But he stands by his decision. And that is what separates your average Joe from the top. You take the risk. You try to change something. And many times it actually is going to pay out because you do something unexpected, which other team is also not expecting. And that's what separates men from the boys. And Arteta, obviously, is just a boy trapped in man's body at the end of the day. Emery is a man's man in that regard. He takes risks at the end of the day. Yeah. Juan Foy's, Geronimo Rulli, Europa League champions at Villarreal, World Cup winning. Exactly. Emery's talent. Emery signed us, obviously, also, what's its face? Emery signed us Martinelli as well. He was good. He played in the 9 for us. Let's be real. He also signed Martinelli for us, and he was looking good at the number 9. Well, until Arteta came along. I would rather have Arteta sacked than win a trophy this year. Totally serious. Not so sure about that one. The issue is, if we win a trophy, Arteta most likely is going to stay. So from that point of view, I can see your argument. Easy, BBK. He's already riled. See, Arsenal are not even playing, and BBK is still riled. Enjoy your holiday, man. Why are you so toxic and negative, man? Why are you so toxic and negative? Exactly. He says one thing and does completely different thing. Exactly. Yeah, they are 10 points behind Villa. Exactly, they are. But that doesn't mean anything if Arsenal draw to them and Villa beat them. Villa on goal, maybe we'll win. That's the thing. If Villa scores 1 own goal and they score 2 on us, it means we're still going to lose. So we can't say shit about them because... Big up handlebars. Big up. Big up handlebar. Big up. A draw with Villa means Man City going to close the gap. They're going to be on top. That's the thing. If Arsenal draw to Villa, until the 1st of January, Arsenal are still going to be first. But if Man City go to Sunderland and beat them on January 1st, they're going to go on top of the table just to the sheer goal difference. They have much better goal difference because once they score 2 goals or 1 goal, they don't stop. They go for 3, 4, 5. They go for the throat. Arsenal, well, they shit their pants and sit back. It's like the weight of the shit that's been dropped in their pants is weighing them down to go in the attack. That's something like that. I blame the players for Baku Perchek being our best player on the pitch. Says it all. Yeah, true. Yeah. The Baku, man, that also is going to haunt me. Like the 2006 final, that Baku, like it's all haunting me still to this day. I'm not going to lie. Just using your lips to talk about the new building doesn't build it. Exactly. Yeah, BBK, you see? We double talking now. If we're gonna accept Emery standing by his decision, carry that energy for our clown Arteta. I'm doing that, but it doesn't mean I have to agree with it. I need manager to stand by his decision. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna agree with it. I didn't agree with every decision Emery made as well. I have my rights to have my opinions at the end of the day. This club better not give some. They're gonna do it. It's already done. Like, if they're talking about this, they're talking about this in the media, and it's more or less confirmed. It's already done. They're just gonna waiting for the most opportunistic moment to announce it. Probably when Arsenal have a massive loss or something like that. Should be. We are not getting Olise. Olise most likely is going Liverpool or Chelsea at the end of the day. Don't forget, Liverpool are not back. Let's not get that twisted as well. Liverpool are not back. But you cannot deny that they are on an uprise at the moment. They are on the rise. If in the next 4 or 5 games they still manage to win, you can tell Liverpool is back. Because it will show that Slot has figured shit out at the end of the day. But for now, when you have few wins, they are 10 points behind us currently. I will not say Liverpool are back. But it feels like they are on the right track. Let's just put it that way. The question is, will that locomotive that is on the track gain some speed, like proper speed, or it's going to run out of steam? Let's just put it that way. I heard we are linked with Olise. Yeah, and we are still linked with Benzema, Jan Villa, Steven Nzonzi, Gonzalo Higuain, Cristiano Ronaldo. Who else we are still linked? Jose Mawar. We are linked still with them. I'm just waiting till we send them Julian Draxler and all these men. Big up LFC. Big up. Is it Anfield the Red? Or am I tripping a bit? Or this is a different one. I might be tripping a bit. I'm very sorry if I am. If passes too good. Man said Liverpool are back. Yeah, I know. A bit carried away. You can slag Liverpool off people, but you can never ride. I'm not slagging Liverpool. Man United at the moment is a different story, but I'm not slagging off Liverpool. Liverpool at the moment, yes, they had a massive downfall mid-season. Well, first part of the season. At the moment, they are on the right track to get it back to some degree. The question is how far they're going to go. Because it has still some inklings that it could go wrong. Let's just put it that way. We need an elite coach without shadow of a doubt. We need that. Liverpool is not trash. Liverpool is not trash at all, in my opinion. Arteta hasn't even made the final since the FA Cup triumph. He has single-handedly destroyed whatever goodwill I had from him since that day. That is the biggest thing. Arteta won FA Cup, and I was sitting there and thinking, well, I didn't want him in the first place, but he won a trophy. Maybe there is something to it, right? Maybe there is something to it. But now fast forward 5.5 years, billion overspent, all this money, all these players, and we are still in no man's land at the end of the day. Rice will just aim at opposition's head to get the own goal. Well, Gabriel is back. Let's just put it that way. Maybe he will aim for Gabriel right now. Liverpool to back to 10 years ago. Liverpool are 8 points behind City. I guess that means they're back. Well, Liverpool are 10 points behind us. Technically, it's a 4-game swing, right? Seems a lot. At the same time, if Arsenal have a drop-off like Liverpool had, and Liverpool win all those games, like it's again going straight sour real quick. Let's just put it that way. For me, Liverpool, if in the next 3-4 games, Liverpool still managed to maintain the level, managed to beat the teams, what is Liverpool's schedule looking like? That is going to answer some big questions because Arsenal have to play Liverpool on January 8th. Let's not forget that. Arsenal have to play Liverpool on January 8th. Where is Liverpool, right? They have to play Leeds on January 1st. It's going to be an interesting one. They play at Anfield, then they have to play Fulham. And obviously, January 8th, that's a Thursday for some weird goddamn reason. Well, basically, in a week and a half, well, 2 weeks, technically speaking, week and a half, we play Liverpool at Emirates. That is one of those home games we have in January. If Arsenal lose that game, we might be in a very deep shit. Let's just put it that way. If Arsenal lose that game, we could be in deep trouble, to say the least, because then it definitely could go sour. What a game versus Arsenal will be, but I have a feeling Arsenal will win. Well, hope. Let's just hope. Let's hope Arsenal can do something. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, league has been dead for years. Most teams sell for where they are. Yeah. There are one team that, well, let's just say there are 3 teams that go for the title in the last, let's just say 3-4 years. And that's it. Rest of the teams just battle it out at the end of the day. What's left for the rest? And some of the teams are comfortable sitting mid-table. Some teams already before the season kicks off accept that most likely they're going to get relegated to some degree. They're going to be in that battle, and they're going into with that mindset into the league. And yeah, it's if you go with that mindset anywhere, it's never going to work. Also, the technical ability, technical levels of the league has dropped heavily. And that, I guess, is the price you pay when you sign, just say, physical athletes over actually some skillful handle players. Let's say it like that. Yeah, they are undefeated in the last 6. Liverpool are on a good run. Let's see how long it lasts, because need a bit more from them. Yeah, definitely curious how it will turn out. 100%. They still could beat us, though, with the... Yeah. 100%. If you won the Prem, the only back means you're top of the table. Exactly. If you won the Prem, only back means you're top of the table. Exactly. Because if you win the Prem, only way you can improve winning the Prem is repeating what Arsenal did in 03-04, doing the Invincibles. That's the only way how you can improve it. And it doesn't look like anyone's going to do it again for a very long time, as it hasn't been done ever since. So the best way you can improve on winning the Premier League is winning it again, just with better win ratio or, well, small margins, guys. Let's just put it that way. Small margins, guys. But besides that, yeah. Arteta for the last 2 years. Yeah, last 2 years. Well, even 3 to some degree. No, last 2, let's just say. After the season has preached in the Emirates when he speaks in the mic, don't settle for second. Always expect go one step further. We're gonna go one step further. And if we are going from that premises, we must win the Carabao Cup. We must win the Champions League. We must win the Premier League and get into the 3rd round or the 5th round of FA Cup this season. Because these one step better, don't sell for second, also has run out 2 years ago. Like, there's no way in that. I mean, this season is trash. Otherwise, yes, Liverpool's one of the big ones. But this season, yeah, but they are getting back. They're getting back. If we lose to Villa and Liverpool and draw against Bournemouth, it's over. Villa will go above us. Yeah, and you say that Villa will go above us. That doesn't even include Man City, who are going to be, like, far ahead already. You're drawing against Bournemouth. They are in a free fall. That lost Aston Villa. Yeah, that Bournemouth definitely are in a free fall. They are not in a great form. But again, with Arsenal, you never know. With Arsenal, you never know. Somehow, Arsenal is one of those teams that tend to do this miracle job where when teams are struggling, Arsenal held in the hand to get back on track. We have had these instances where some teams are on massive losing streaks, haven't won a game in like 6-7 games, and all of a sudden Arsenal come along, bang, they get the win against Arsenal. Man City, yeah. The league is just how many sides turn up to play for a draw now. Most owners just want safe positions. Yeah, money is great. Why would they borrow? Let's just put it that way. It's going to be interesting to hear the takes after the game on Tuesday. Well, I'm here for it. 100%. The sad part is I'm not going to Arsenal play at 8 p.m., right? I'm not going to stream on the 30th. Yeah, 8:15. I'm not going to stream on 30th, and I'm not going to stream on the 1st, on the 31st, because on the 31st I'm going out of town with family and with relatives to celebrate New Year's, which means I'm not gonna stream. A bit sad, but it is what it is. Let's just put it that way. Big up Dr. Seymour. It's sounding awfully toxic and negative here. Can you just be happy for being top of the league? Well, like I said in BBK's channel, only reason why Sunderland is doing good is because of Granit Xhaka. And let's be real. The manager who coached Granit Xhaka the most, who inspired him, who evolved him, who gave him the opportunity to grow and develop, was Mikel Arteta. The best manager in the world, the best looking manager, the one that instills faith and ability in every player in the team. There was no title race. Definitely there was no title race last year, 100%. It's always Liverpool to win the league last season. Yeah. Arteta is making your own fans struggle through this season. He doesn't want tomorrow on, like Slot did last season. He's putting you through the ring. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, he's putting us through a meat grinder at the end of the day. And the sad part is he's struggling even with that to some degree. Yes, I checked Arsenal finished second 3 years in a row. Fans will lash out if this happens again. It is imminent pressure on them this season. To be honest, there should have been pressure last season already, but nobody wanted to do that. There must be pressure this season, but people don't want to admit that because people would still keep Mikel Arteta if he finishes second. Still, yes, there are still people who would do that. And that's the only quad we actually could win this season. That is a quad we actually can win this season, finishing 4 times in a row in second place. That's the quad Arsenal can win this season. The one season the unstoppable monster Man City falls off, you think we finally take our chance to win it. Yeah, and Liverpool won it. And that is the thing. I've been sitting on YouTube videos, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, and I see these statements that as soon as Pep Guardiola leaves Man City, Arteta will dominate Premier League for a decade. Seriously, a decade. I'm not even exaggerating. A decade. Arteta has built such an superior, insane team that there is no stopping us. This is what I'm hearing still to this day and right now as well. So basically what they're saying, they think that the manager is not good enough to beat Pep Guardiola in the first place, but they won't admit it, obviously. And Arsenal must wait for favorable circumstances, that there is no Pep in the league, there is no Slot even in the league, or other managers to win the league. He has to wait. And Pep is not leaving as well. He's leaving in 2027, best case scenario for Premier League, for Arsenal, if you're looking from that perspective. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Arteta could have won at least 3, maybe 4 league titles and 2 Champions Leagues. He could have been iconic manager. He could have won, worst case scenario, let's just put it that way, 2 Premier Leagues and the Champions League. He could have. And you can include also Carabao Cup in there, which we haven't won in 30 plus years. And that is the nuts part. Big up Eric. Big up Eric. Big up. Every team gets injuries, no excuses. Facts. Every team gets injuries, no excuses. Every team gets injuries. There are no excuses not to win on Tuesday, not to win the league. Oh, look, but this player is out and this player is out. Arsenal are cursed and all this stuff. Everyone gets injuries. Everyone. Reasons why, that's a different story. We're not going to get into that because then we're going to sit here for another 6 years, obviously. But overall, everyone gets injuries. Our defense got injured. We had backups. Let's be real. We had Mosquera, Hincapié, Calafiori, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Benny Blanco, Bentan, and all these men. We are still where we are. Our defense, yes, it was a bit worse. It was a more shaky, but they still maintained the levels to some degree and kept us up top, and we still didn't concede that many goals. Let's be real. So the defense, to some degree, the difference, certain aspect, is not that big for we have backups. The issue is the midfield is still shambles if Rice is not in there, and the attack is struggling as it was last year and at the end of the day. It's very unbalanced. That's the biggest thing. The midfield is still unbalanced, and the attack is still unbalanced. And Arteta still somehow, in 6.5 years almost, after end of this season, it's going to be 6.5 years, still hasn't found a way to fix it. That is the biggest issue here. After 1 point something billion spent, we still struggle with the issues of midfield balance, attack balance, and proper backups in specific positions. You would think that it would be enough, but no. Same goes, to be honest, with defense. We don't have wingbacks in the team. We have 4 center backs across the back line because Calafiori is a center back. Well, Gabriel Saliba goes without saying. Mosquera is a center back. Hincapie is a center back. And Timber also is a center back. Miles Lewis-Skelly, God forbid, is a midfielder at the end of the day. We actually don't have out-and-out wing backs in the team. We have just center backs running across the back line. Only wing back we actually had was Kieran Tierney. And Arteta binned him like he's trash. And to be honest, we could do with a Kieran Tierney at the moment in the team, given that how much we want to cross the ball at times. Kieran Tierney had elite crossing. Elite. And he didn't want that in the team. But he's injury prone. No, he's not. Yes, he's been injured, maybe for a bigger amount of time. But nobody complained when Zinchenko was injured, when Partey was injured for so long. Those two alone, statistically speaking, were out for longer periods of time than actually Kieran Tierney has been for Arsenal. And nobody complained about that. No one. Absolutely no one. Hit the likes, yeah. Listen to BBK. Hit the likes. Feeds the algorithm, helps the channel. Exactly. Big up. And this season we have recovered City. Let's be honest. Exactly. We were depleted under Klopp. Our whole first team squad was 100%. One of the biggest issues Liverpool did, the biggest issue, after you lot won the Champions League. Yeah, before the Premier League. You didn't invest in the team further. You still relied on the same players, and that is one of the club's biggest issues. He run the players into the ground to the maximum degree. The thing is, he actually won stuff. Arteta currently is doing the same thing. He is running players into the ground. The thing is, he is not winning shit. That is why I think the biggest annoyance comes from many fans. Well, for example, from me, I cannot speak for everyone. I'm not talking about fan base overall. I'm talking about myself. Because he's doing something similar to what Klopp did, but Klopp at least won stuff. We, nada. You'll notice that we'll have the slowest wingers in the league, and they managed to outpace Saka and White. Yeah, Saka got caught up by Dunk against Brighton. That just shows where Saka's pace is at the moment. Saka got caught up by Dunk. From relegation battle to title race in a matter of 14 game weeks. Yeah, exactly. Unai Emery, that was the thing. In the beginning of the season, when Emery were like 3-4 games in, they were relegation and all this stuff, there were talks about Emery getting sacked. I was sitting here on this channel and saying that it's not looking great for Villa. The thing is, though, Emery has this thing somehow that it's not the first time, and I expect also it not being the last time, that in the beginning of the season, first 3-4 games, he struggles. He cannot score goals. After that, he goes on 10-15 game winning streaks, unbeaten streaks. And the team jumps from the bottom to the top, near top, very quickly. And we are seeing that at the moment as well. And the same can be said about, to be honest, Emery, because he has done it before and he's going to do it again if push comes to shove. Emery is elite. He knows how to do these things. He was not worried when the team wasn't scoring. He figured shit out. Arsenal couldn't figure that out. Let's be real. But overall speaking, yeah, Emery knows how to get the job done at the end of the day. Villa was like that, but they are not anymore. It's nothing new if you're looking from that point of view. Big up, Gary. Big up, Gary. Don't waste a trip. Big up, big up, big up. Hope you're doing well today, brother. Go subscribe to Gary as well, people. I just like how Emery can still get the best out of McGinn, Buendia, Maatsen. Yeah, McGinn, Buendia, Maatsen, Tielemans. Who else is there? Kamara. Obviously, there goes Rodgers, Watkins, and all these players. Malen, of course, Konsa, Paul Torres, Matty Cash, Digne. It goes there. CR getting better and better, and Cherky and Haaland are unstoppable at the moment. 100%. 100%. Even 2 seasons ago, Villa had an ugly start, losing 5-1 to Newcastle, but they went on a brilliant run and qualified for the Champions League. Alex Ferguson spoke about how much he liked the way Villa played. Exactly. Emery at Arsenal also went on a 21-game unbeaten streak. Remember? When he had player like Mustafis and all these men at the back. He went on a 21-game unbeaten streak. Mustafi got injured, and then obviously shit hit the fan and everything faltered and went down. It's also evident that he has learned from it because he has backups at Villa now, and he has ways to figure that out now. Nobody was complaining about Emery when we were 21 games unbeaten with Mustafi at the back. No one was complaining then. Everyone was complaining that we conceded 30-plus shots against Watford. By the way, we didn't lose that game. Nobody was complaining when we were conceding 28 shots against Leeds under Arteta. It goes all ways. Maybe Klopp could have given you that extra 20% on the touchline that Arteta can't on the pitch. Oh, 100%. 100%. Because you need winners in your team. We have a few players who have done it, but besides Declan Rice, none of them have played main roles. And if that is the case in the team, you turn to the manager for inspiration, for support, and for that pick-me-up. Let's just put it that way. And unfortunately, Arteta, as the main coach, as the head coach, has no idea what's it like. Has literally no idea what it is like. Let's just put it that way. Arteta must rotate the team, but it's on him. Well, that's the thing against Villa. He cannot rotate. And to be honest, there's not much rotation he can do unless Eze and Madueke plays. That's about it, unless he wants to play Manieri, which obviously we know he won't do at the end of the day. Because it's Arteta, he doesn't trust youth. Unfortunately. Backline, half of them are injured. So that means most likely if Timber is not fit, Rice is going to be at right back again. Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori, for now, I expect to be out. So Skelly is going to be left back. Midfield is going to be Zubimendi, Merino, Odegaard. Maybe Eze, although I don't think so, since Odegaard is the captain. Saka right, Gyökeres up top, although I would not be surprised if Gabriel Jesus starts up top. Would not be surprised a single bit. And left wing, either Trossard, either Eze. That's about it. He needs to just the gum resign. Emery may not be fluent in English, but he's no fool. Exactly. He's an astute thinker and a great student of the game. I see a lot of similarities between him and Claudio Ranieri. Yeah, 100%. Emery knows how to get the best out of the team where expectations are not the highest, so let's say medium, and maybe on some limited budget. Obviously, with Villa, it's a bit different, but on somewhat limited budget. You don't win Europa League 3 times in a row, back to back to back, when you don't know what you're doing. And you don't get with the same team to Champions League semi-final by not knowing what you're doing. And then you win also Europa League with Sevilla. It doesn't happen by accident. You know stuff. You know how to do it. You have the pedigree. You have the mindset. You have the knowledge. You have the know-how at the end of the day. Yeah, we had a chance to sign Ancelotti 2 times when we signed Arteta and when we extended Arteta. We had 2 times chance to sign Ancelotti. Zidane, although he's becoming France national team manager after the World Cup once the Champs retires, if I'm not mistaken. Big up, Ryan. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Yeah, let's do this. Before we wrap this up, I'm going to be live for about 5-6 minutes still. 5-6 minutes, right? Let's do this. Score predictions for the Villa game. Put it in the chat. What are your predictions for Arsenal versus Aston Villa? What do you expect from the game? What will be the result? What are your expectations? And what do you think it's going to happen in the game? Let's just put it that way. Marlon is saying 7-1 Villa. So we're going to get Germanied. I don't think so. I'm going to say this right now. I don't think so. 3-0 Aston Villa. Damn. Villa's last title was, 45 years ago. Yeah, it's nuts, actually. 44 years ago. Last trophy was 96. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 2-2. So we have a loss, another loss, a draw. 2-1 Arsenal win. Interesting. I know I feel like might be right, but 2-2 we are up to then sell. That could be the case. I'm not going to lie. We invite the pressure and we don't learn from that. And that could be our biggest downfall. To be honest, also with Aston Villa, I would not be surprised if it's 2-2, they're going to be closer to making it 3-2 than actually losing 3-2. Winning, they're going to be closer to winning it 3-2. I'm not going to lie. My prediction is... Oh, wait, let me see. Villa, Arsenal. Oh fucking hell! I never want to predict Arsenal losing. I hate to do this stuff. Obviously, my head is saying 2-1. My head is saying 2-1 Villa, but I'm not going with that. I think it's gonna be 2-1 Arsenal. I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal. It's somewhere between 2-1 Arsenal, 2-2 draw with my heart. That's just Arsenal fan in me speaking. If I go with my head, I would predict a loss, but I never want to predict Arsenal loss. And with Arsenal in my heart is saying Arsenal fan, my heart is saying 2-1 Arsenal. Right starts, right back, weak midfield. When Yeri won't touch grass, Duki will come on, and yeah, most likely. Hopefully, Madueke even comes on. To be honest, based on last few games. And the season after they won the Europa League, they won the European Cup. Yeah, hat-trick from Midlands team, triumphs after Nottingham Forest 2 wins. Yeah, Aston Villa. Aston Villa actually has a very good trophy history, if you look from that point of view. It's just a shame that in the last, let's just say, 2 decades, per se, they have had issues. Let's just put it that way. 3-0 Arsenal. I see. I hope we win. It's my birthday that day, dude. I hope we win as well. Arsenal play Chelsea on my name's day. Like, you probably don't have this in your country. Many people don't. Many countries don't. But let's put it that way. You have your birthday, right? Once a year. Once a year, you also have your name's day. Basically, in our calendar, which we live by, the regular calendar, right? But there are names designated for every day. And every day that name actually is on the calendar, that is your name day. That's like something like birthday, but a bit less celebrationary. At the same time, it's also a happy day for you. Let's just put it that way. And Arsenal play on the 14th, and that's my name's day, and we play Chelsea. So, Lautaro Martinez, he's decent. A bit wasteful, but very decent, in my opinion. I love Arsenal with all my heart, but demolishing. Will have also won European Cup. Yes, they have. Yes, Jimbo. Big up, Jimbo. Yeah, they have. They'll have one more in Europe than Arsenal. They have won also the Intertoto Cup, if I'm not mistaken. Even Spurs have a better European history than us. Yeah, that is embarrassing for Arsenal. I'm not going to lie. That is hell embarrassing and painful as well. Let's just put it that way for Arsenal. That Spurs have better European pedigree, especially in the recent years, than Arsenal. In this century. Not century, I cannot say century, in the last decade or so. Højlund has more goals than Alpha attack. And McTominay, yeah, Højlund scored 2 goals today as well for Napoli. They won 2-0 against, I forgot who they played as well, but they won 2-0. Attack Villa from the off. Come on, yeah. But this manager is not brave. This manager is not brave. It's been shown. We have seen this over the years. This manager is not brave at all. Oh, sorry, something in my eye. What's wrong with Gyökeres? You think I'm starting to think he might be a fraud? Well, it's both. Not fully. I would say 20%, 15-20% on Gyökeres. Other part is on the manager. But hey, you literally cannot expect a manager who has never used an out-and-out number 9 to figure it out how to use an out-and-out number 9. You either have it or you don't. You either want to know it and figure it out or you don't. Also, 20-plus games should be enough to figure that out. Thanks a lot, mate. I'm dashing off too. Catch you again soon. Big up. Big up, money. Big up. Have a nice evening. Have a nice day, depending on where you live. Thank you for dropping by and have a great time. Have a great time and have a great start of the week tomorrow. How this frauding gets sacked after Spurs in Europe. But you can hold your head up high to being the 3rd best team currently in all UK competitions. True, but it's also not far off for us becoming 4th. If I'm not mistaken, we are 2 cups ahead only of the 4th place. Only 2. Only 2. It's not that we are that far off. Also, we have 14 FA Cups, most in anyone in the Premier League in England, right? United are on 13. They're also only 1 off. if I wasn't in that board and it was up to me, he would have been gone. We lost 2-0 home to Newcastle and Carabao. Yeah, true. I wouldn't be surprised as well for that. That was embarrassing as well. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is, I guess. We'll see. Time only will tell. But for today, people, I'm gonna be signing off. So for the last time, if you haven't already, smash the likes, subscribe if you're new. If you're watching this as a playback, leave your comments down below. Have a nice evening. Have a great start of the week tomorrow. Should be live tomorrow as well. And hopefully, I'm going to see you all very, very, very soon. Peace.